Hi, boys and girls. Okay, we got our silly faces on our pumpkins. Now we're ready to put it all together. So I wanted to talk to you about the stems a little bit. We're going to be coloring in the stems, and if you want, you can draw some vines and leaves. So when we looked at this picture of what they look like, these are kind of a dark greenish stem. This one's kind of tan, so you're going to get to kind of pick. And look at the shapes of those leaves. They're kind of big with little jaggedy edges, okay? So, I also had this other picture from remember when we read that book. Look at that leaf. Isn't that cool? And they have these little twirly, curly things. So when we make our vine, we might make some of those twirly lines to make it look a lot more like a pumpkin, okay? So, first, we have to get our pumpkin onto our pumpkin patch. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your purple night sky or sunset sky, and we're going to put some glue right along the front bottom edge, and then we're going to stick our grass right on top of that like that. So we have grass, or you could call this the pumpkin patch, okay, the green pumpkin patch. We're going to use our glue bottles. If you're using this one, remember it's already open. All you have to do is turn it upside down, wait a couple seconds, and when the glue runs down in here, we're just going to press down. Now at first it doesn't come out very good, but if I keep pressing, pretty soon as I can feel it kind of still running down in the tip. As it gets further down in the tip, all I have to do is push my hand down on the bottom like this, and my glue comes out. Do you see my glue dots coming out? And I'm not hammering it against the table. I did have some kids that were pushing too hard on theirs. If you don't feel like you're getting enough glue, if you just hold down a little bit longer, it'll make a bigger glue dot. Okay, I'm going to give mine a lot of glue dots just because when you try to get painted paper to stick to painted paper, you need quite a bit of glue. And this, I want to make sure I have a good amount of dots. Okay. If you are at a building where we're using this glue bottle, you do have to open that top lid to get it to come out. You'll have to twist this open like that, and then there'll be a little space and you can turn it upside down. But this one is closed when you twist it down, and it's open when you twist it open. Most likely though, if you're with me, for sure at Paul Norton we'll be using these, and sometimes at Grant Wood we'll be using these, okay? When we're done, we'll want to wipe that off. All right, so this has got a good amount of glue. Now I'm going to stick my grass right on top of it, or my pumpkin patch right on top of it. And a lot of times you have to hold this because it doesn't stick right away. So I'm just going to hold it, and I'm going to count to 10. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. I'm going to do 10 seconds. So 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 9, 1,000, 10. So you just give it a good little rub. Mine is stuck pretty good now. Look at that. It's good and stuck. Now we're going to do the same thing with our pumpkin. We're going to flip it over, and we're going to put our glue all around the outside, and we're going to stick it right into our pumpkin patch. Don't put it up in the sky. Make sure it's sitting down in the grass somewhere. You can even move it down lower or higher, wherever you feel like it looks best. Okay, so glue. And I don't know if you can see it, but do you see my dots of glue on there? Okay, now I'm ready to stick it down right into my pumpkin patch, and I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to count to 10 seconds. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 9, 1,000, 10, 1,000. Okay, give it the shake test. Good, mine's stuck. Okay, now this is where we're going to add our stem, and we're going to do our twirly lines. And if you want, you can add a leaf to it. It's totally up to you. So Mrs. Walker has some oil pastels, and you can use lots of different greens or just one green. I like that there's more than one green in here. Look at this. This one has 3 different greens. There's a really, really dark green, almost looks black, but that's dark green. There's a Kelly green, and then there's a light green. I think I'm going to do this with my Kelly green. I'm going to draw my curling, twirling lines, and then I'm going to go back with my dark green to add a shadow, and this one to add a highlight. But before I do, my stem needs to be brown, or kind of tan, and I found a brown and a tan. So I'm going to draw my stem lines. I'm going to just make this look like a stem. And then I'm going to take this tan one. I think that looks like a stem. I might even make my stem a little bit longer here so it's like going right into the vine. There. Alright, now I'm ready to do my green twirling. Actually, I might add a little bit of green to this too, because I kind of like that green on my stem. And then I'm going to make it twirl around, which means I'm going to do a curly line. I might even go the other way. Curly, twirly, and there we go, right off to the side. Maybe I'll make one going this way. Curl, which is like a loop, right? I'm making a loop and a loop. Maybe I'll loop the other way and go this way. Okay? And then for the leaf, when I look at the leaf shape, it's kind of like it's got sort of jaggedy edges, like zigzag sides. So I'm going to make the shape with a zigzag, but I'm going to make it coming out of, let's see, I'm going to put a stem, and then I'm going to make a shape that I think looks like a leaf, but I'm going to give it a zigzag line like that. And then I'm going to make a line that goes up the middle and has little veins. Veins are just little diagonal lines that are coming out of it. And that leaf, I want it to be green, so I'm going to put green right over, the light green right over top of that purple sky so it doesn't look like a purple leaf. There we go. And then I'm going to take this green and I'm going to go right along my curly twirly line to make it look light green and dark green at the same time. I really like that. Now you're going to put this on the drying rack because there's glue under this and we don't want it to get stuck to anyone else's, right? And be sure to wipe off your glue and put it back with the other glue bottles. And any of your oil pastels that you have, make sure they're back in the container, and throw away any paper scraps, okay? That would be cleaned up and then you can go read a book.